once again leave it to Crunchyroll to completely fuck this up. It's supposed to be on break last week, alright? Eden Zero, like the whole magazine, Weekly Shonen magazine, was supposed to be on break last week, and then they were gonna be out this week. But then they ended up putting out stuff last week, and it's like, oh, okay, well then I guess there's not gonna be anything next week. No, they released it anyway. What exactly is going on back there? Are they aware that they have a schedule they're supposed to be doing and supposed to be following? I mean, now they're once again like a straight week ahead of where they're supposed to be at in the manga. I mean, when you guys try and fight piracy, it's not helping you when you pretty much screw over the Japanese release already by paying no attention to its schedule. I'm just saying. Anyway, so now we have this member of Draken Joe's Element 4, Sylph, you know, in her spaceship, her little starfighter, going up against Rebecca in her little Taurus starfighter. And there is cool wind around her, and I mean, obviously, yeah, space. There's no wind in space. I mean, you could have the argument of like, okay, well then, what's up with the flower petals in space and stuff? I mean, I guess they would drift as long as, you know, through space until something stopped them, but they wouldn't kind of like flow, I imagine, like you know, like they was there. Maybe it's just a, you know, a visual effect. Regardless of which, you can obviously manipulate ether in, you know, around and in various ways to use it in order to defy certain aspects of, you know, the standard setup of the world. And I think that's been established in Eden Zero and whatnot. And Ether Gear, it's not as much like, oh, you know, you straight have this power to do something. It's more of you're manipulating ether in a specific way to do a certain function, which you can look at it in similar powers, but it's more like a rerouting system rather than straight, oh yeah, I manipulate it and use that energy to forge it into a certain way. Anyway, though, you have all these like little drone ships around, and Rebecca's just having to just go around pegging them off one at a time, just blasting them out of the, I can't really say sky, I guess, out of space. And there's a nice little like constant like shot behind her, I might add. I know people, there have been some people that's like, well, why are all these chicks always in like these weird space shots like this? Listen, I'm not going to complain about that. Nobody reading this is going to complain about that. And if you do complain about it, I don't know where you find your joy in life. Regardless of which, Rebecca's being a badass, just completely marksmaning all these guys, just sharpshooting all these ships out of the sky. Well, are they ships? Little drones. Taking them out, and there seems to be a little bit too many. Switches to straight like this giant missile barrage. I feel like you probably should have started that rather than, you know, little tiny ships or tiny machine gun for the ships. I mean, and there's probably way more bullets though than there are these missile barrages. Probably only got like one set, maybe a second set. But I really liked the look on Sylph. She's like using her ether gear, and you see like one of the missiles like sucked into that kind of like big circle of wind around her. The two big circles of wind that are just completely you know, orbiting around her now that you have this missile. I think that's a really neat. I like this idea of like her ship. Like if you were playing a video game, I just imagine she's got like this little set base, all right, in these little rings, and any attacks get in there, get caught, bam, adds it. She could shoot them back. Like it's a special ability, and it's one that would, I think, really would work. Like it'd be perfectly fine, like using if you were playing like a game, playing like a video game and whatnot, because generally, like when you see a lot of these characters use their powers and whatnot, it'd probably be a lot harder to implement in a game. But this, I feel like this would be pretty easy. It's just catch and throw back in a ship sense, and you're just catching some missiles and launching them. But here comes Rebecca, and she uses her leaper power, and still like her leaper ends up always just like happen to be really radiant, and to the point it actually rips through her clothes. Like it just breaks the cloth. Would it be cloth? I don't know. Whatever that suit is made of apart, you know, and then ends up speeding the ship up, which is interesting because this means that she can apply her ether gear to her weapons. And Draken Joe seems to be able to do that, whether it's straight just like, oh yeah, I put touch it and use ether powers, or if he's making like ether rounds, like he's putting it specifically making some weird process with a bullet. Either way, there are a set type of people in this that can apply their ether gear to inanimate objects, it would seem. And obviously, Wise is manipulating inanimate objects, but I guess for him it'd be like if you made a robot that could maybe also do it, like it could just rework itself whenever it wanted. I don't know. But they're kind of shocked at the ship, you know, all the members of Eden Zero, and they're saying that she has the makings of an Etherion Master, which makes me wonder what exactly that will pertain to. Is that a set thing in their crew? Is this going to be her getting to use the Etherion, like, secret that they have in the ship? I'm guessing it's going to be, you know, some giant cannon or whatnot. Maybe some just, like, really sick weapon system or something. It's gotta be something super special in there. But plus I mean, not only is it this trade secret that they won't even tell Shiki, but it is a reference. You know, it's the reference all the way back to Rave Master, you know, the power that Ellie had. And what exactly is it going to mean for Eden Zero? Because it's like, well, if it's putting in inanimate objects, if it's just that, like, she's able to, you know, use her ether gear into things, and, you know, that makes her an ether or Etherion Master, because obviously, you know, Etherion is a further worded out from the concept of ether. So, well, I mean, people are gonna be like, well, no, Etherion's Rave Master. I know that, but where do you think that Kira Mishima got originally the name? You know, ether has been like a thing long since before Rave Master as a concept, and, you know, Eden Zero and whatnot. I actually don't know what year. I'd have to look into like where ether originally originated from, but as it is now, she's got this setup that she can use it in various things, you know, not just her ship. I imagine she'll be able to use it in her guns, so faster bullets. I think that would be really really neat to see, like, work out. But Sylph is not very pleased with this. She seems kind of annoyed. She's saying, like, how the wind blows for her, but she's going to stop that. And, you know, pretty much it, you know, intercepts her once they get to once she gets onto the Belial goer, and just sucks her into like this wind ball. So I'm guessing all of the element 4 have some form of confinement ability with their elements, like doing some weird elemental stuff. Like, I guess she looks like she turned into wind, so I imagine, you know, just straight all of them can turn them into their element and lock them somehow in a, you know, in a set location, which is cool. Maybe I'm wondering actually if one of them won't be, because one of the things that the element 4 had in Fairy Tales, all of them had like an elemental body. All of them could turn into their element, except for Totomaru for some reason. So I'm wondering if they're all going to be able to trap people in, you know, an elemental confinement, except one of them. My guess is Fee, because I mean, he's a sniper. He's not going to be one for catching guys. He's going to be all for killing. We did see what Maria's species was. She's a little space slip. She looks like a Pokemon. There's that one Pokemon that it evolves into the big slime dragon. I gotta look it up really quick in the middle of this. But oh my god, it's Slugoo, I think. Or that might be the second evolution. But you know what I mean. The first one, is it Goomy? Oh my god, this is gonna bother me. Yeah, Goomy. Look at him. Look up Goomy after this. If you don't know what Pokemon I'm talking about, just look it up in the middle of it. Pause it and go look. It does look a little bit like it. I like it. It's a little cute alien slime. Like, it's just a space slime. But she's ready. You know, looks like she's gonna start giving over information. I think she knows she's kind of screwed if she doesn't, and maybe she'll become like a kind of like a prisoner member of the ship, where she's like, well, I'm here now, I might as well be here, because if I go anywhere else, I'm gonna die. Because she even knows, like, if you defy Draken Joe, you go against him, no one ever lives. And I can understand that after seeing, like, how quick and easy he is to kill people that cross him, or people, you know, he knows they're gonna cross him, assumes he's gonna cross him, or, and all around just bother him some. And I don't really care about the whole Sibber stuff. It was nice to see, like, Sibber saying how him and Wise are friends. I'm guessing he's talking more about the old man Wise, and, you know, it just kind of, like, relates. Obviously, this is still a version of Wise, so he still wants to help him to a degree. But that whole portion, I mean, it's nice and all, but I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that whole part in this chapter. I was more intrigued with like watching Rebecca show off her, her. Is it still aerial combat, astral combat, astral space skills and whatnot, astral combat? That was really nice. I like that while having the setup of more progress for her character. That was really nice. Rhea stuff was interesting. I'm curious to know where that's going to go. But Rebecca captured. Just I'll get to this last thing before I end this. Rebecca captured is, I think, very, very intriguing of an option to choose, or a direction to take the story right now, because Wise is hurt and nobody knows that Rebecca got captured. I imagine that maybe some of the people on the ship, maybe it's like they can, well, no, because I don't think they can communicate directly on the ship because of what Drac and Joe does to jam stuff. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like how exactly they're gonna get out of Drac and Joe now having their members captured, because it's not like with before with Laguna, where Wise it's like, oh he tricked them and he managed to get out and whatnot. I mean, there's always Leaper, and it's like ability to make it seem like if she went back in time. I'm so curious if it was time manipulation or if it was some form of future sight, or what the extent of it is. I mean, it can't just be, oh, she gets in danger and time time rewinds and sets her there. If she dies, then okay, then it's got some limitations. As long as she's got her ether gear on and she within the vicinity, or within the time of her dying, then okay, yeah, that's something. You only get so much energy before your ether gear runs out, and there are ways to restrict ether gear, so there is a balance to it, even if it's a pretty strong power. But I don't know. Nobody in the main cast, like Shiki and crew, know she's there. It would have to be the only thing I can think of that like would possibly happen, and it's still kind of rough. Is like Jin. If Jin shows up, and we find out he's tied to Sylph. I know some people have speculated that already. I'm still curious if that's the case. Why was he with Sister? There had to. I mean, I'm sure it can be explained. I'm curious for that explanation. But at that point, like, would it be like, I want to, I got to repay that girl, I owe her one, which, again, that'd be like, okay, yeah, you could owe her one and help her out after you guys, put them all in danger, and after a misunderstanding. It would be a really cool turn, though, and I'm hoping that's going to be something like that. Other than that, I'm just wondering, like, where's her help going to come from? Because it's not like it was set up like, oh, she's got a fighter now. It's like, oh, she's trapped. So, it's got to have something, some form of aid in order for her to get out of there. I mean, Jin, please? I haven't seen him in forever. I need to see the guy. He's still one of my favorite characters. And I really want to see the dude again. But anyway, I mean, he's so cool looking. He's still one of my favorite guys in Eden Zero. I mean, sorry, we haven't seen him. He hasn't really done a lot, and we haven't seen him in, like 40 chapters? But still... Anyway, yeah, comment below, tell me your thoughts about this chapter, and tell me, where exactly you think is the rescue squad going to come for Rebecca, or is she going to somehow bust her own way out? I mean, she's in a tight spot, regardless, and I really appreciate you thumbs up the video, from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.